producers, it's Özgün here. In this tutorial, I'm gonna show you how to mix vocals only using stock plugins. If you remember, like probably 2 years ago, I already shoot another vocal mixing video that could be applied to the all genres, all style of the vocals, but it was made by the plugins by all of the third party. But after getting several suggestions, I decided to shoot this video, so I'm gonna show you how to mix vocals and apply it to any genre, any kind of vocals with only using stock FL Studio plugins. And if you're ready, let's get into that tutorial. So I quickly prepared these vocals for you. I find them from Splice. Let me show how they sound first.
We on the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around. Can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
So as you see, we have one verse vocal, and also in the chorus, in the drop section, we have two backing vocals as well. So the first tip I can give you is try to find all the layers, all the supporting layers for the vocals, so you can have much more freedom and you can mix the vocals in a really rich way. So let's first start routing the vocals. The first thing I should do is route a vocal, one of the main vocals, to some empty channel. And let's rename it as Vox. And the chorus vocal is also another dry vocal, like the main vocal. That's why I like to route the same vocal to the same group, same mixer channel. And now both of the main vocals are routing to the same channel, but let's check what do we have as the backing vocals.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
So we have one low octave, one higher octave, which recorded or doubled already. I can hear they really stereo. So we should route the vocals, route the backing vocals. Let's say to the next channel, we can call it back. And maybe we can call it back low.
You can hear the sound.
And the next vocal, let's route to the next. And let's call it back high. And after that, I like to create a vocal final group, which I'm gonna route all of my vocals to the same group. So with one group, I can make group processing for my vocals, or if I like in the track, without changing the other channels, other mixer faders, I can just lower the volume or raise the volume. So grouping vocals, grouping the similar tracks, always so important. I'm gonna lock my group by holding Alt, Shift and click. And now we should create some little groups. Let's call a back group and let's move it here and also lock it. The back group is going to contain my backing vocals. I'm gonna unroute them from the master and route to the backing group. And then I'm gonna create a separator so I can see everything much more clear. So let's rename them by holding Control and dragging and dropping. Let's make them maybe blue. Let's make the main vocal kind of like purple.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
Let's keep routing it. And yeah, now once we lower the volume of the main vocal,
You can hear the sound.
so we can now control all of the vocals. So at first I like to mute the backing group. I'm gonna work with the main vocal group. And let's add a limiter. Since this is a sample pack vocal, actually it doesn't require that much compression. But still I like to show you how it would do if you just literally record the vocal, get the vocal from a real vocalist, real singer, instead of using a sample. The first thing you should do is get the main vocal and just try to compress it a little bit. So I'm gonna make my ratio 2:1 and I'm gonna compress it not more than 4 or 5 dB. It's the maximum value. But again, as you see, these vocals are already compressed, like they already limited as a certain point. They are not touching to the top, they are not touching to the bottom. So in terms of dynamic range, they are already processed. But yes, still for the sake of this tutorial, I like to compress them because I always start my vocal chain by just compressing them and taming the dynamics.
We on the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound,
And also, I like to give the vocals maybe like 4 decibels, let's say, gain boost. So when I compress it, I give approximately same amount of gain boost as much as I compress the vocals, so I don't get that much gain difference. This is what you do with the makeup gain with the third-party plugins.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down on the battleground.
So 4 decibel I think is too much. Let's make it 2 since we are not making gain reduction that much.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down.
So in the end, you shouldn't hear that much difference, especially if that's a sample pack vocal. And the next thing I like to add is an EQ, because right now we are going to deep or tame several spikes on the vocals. And when we are doing that, we should resize the equalizer to make it bigger. And in the screen, if you see some big spikes, you should be checking those frequencies. Let's check them in action.
We on the night, we take control anyway. We on the.
So probably the low mid area, as you see, the 250 Hz to 400 Hz, that area could get muddy in most of the vocals. So the first thing I check is if there are big hills like we did right now. I like to deep those frequencies a little bit.
We on the night. We on the night.
But be careful, if you deep that frequency too much, you are going to lose the character, lose the body.
We on the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go. We on the night.
So maybe we can deep this frequency as well.
We on the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop.
So probably there are no big annoying spikes that I can see or hear in the vocal. I don't need to overprocess the vocal. Always think like that. If you are making some action, dipping or boosting some frequency, make it for that some purpose. Don't do it because you see it on the some tutorial. So that's a really crucial part. Don't overprocess your vocals. And the next thing I like to do is go to the first band, put it on step 8, put it on high pass, and just cut the low frequencies. Sometimes the vocals are getting lower than, let's say, 100 Hz, which we definitely don't like in a vocal, especially in a female vocal, in a high tone singer.
We on the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go, you can't stop.
So if that was a male singer or a like low vocal singer, I probably wouldn't cut more than 100 dBs. But right now I can go up to 200 because we don't have that much important frequencies. It doesn't lose character when I cut till here. That's the main thing of cutting the samples. If the sample is losing character after you're cutting it, which means you are cutting it too much. So let's leave it in here. And after that, I like to add a patcher. And in the patcher, you will see tons of hidden plugins. So the first plugin I like to use is Simple EQ for vocal. So this plugin already dividing the vocals to the several parts, and all you can do is just listening it with the context. So for making that, I just quickly put just a bass and an ambient sound. So yeah, just try to listen it with your mix, listen it with your track, and try to boost or deep frequencies and try to color vocal. The reason I'm not coloring it with EQ, in parametric EQ, I could get lost in tons of frequencies, but in here, I have just several bands to tweak. All I can do is trust my ear and vibe with the vocal itself.
We on the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go, you can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
So probably I would leave it in here. I'm just vibing with the vocal. I'm just listening it and not making that much huge difference. Just like 5%, 10% boosting or dipping. That's all. Now we are properly coloring the vocal. And the next thing I realized, the chorus vocal is heavily processed in terms of EQ.
You can hear the sound. night.
You can hear the difference. This vocal is completely dry, but this vocal that we downloaded from the sample pack is already processed. I can hear some distortion, I can hear some EQing. So it's best if I root it somewhere around here and call it chorus vocal. Let's lock it and let's place it in here and let's give it same color. So which means we can process it a little bit different than the original vocal. I'm gonna copy my limiter, I'm gonna copy my EQ, and I'm gonna copy the patcher patch, but this time I like to tweak the parameters a little bit different than I made the verse vocal.
You can hear the sound.
So now I'm gonna compare it with my verse vocal.
We take control.
We have a perfect body with this vocal. I like to achieve that vibe. So for that, let's boot some clarity and body side.
You can hear the sound. You can hear it loud. Never holding us down. On the battleground.
Now let's compare them.
Wanna go, you can't stop us. You can hear the sound. You can hear it loud.
Now they're more close to each other, and with the backing vocals, after I'm adding them, probably I won't lose any character, any power. It would sound good, but yeah, my purpose and my point is, if the vocals are having different characters when you download them, try to process them with same plugins, but change the inside parameters so you can try to match them in terms of vibe, in terms of color. So the next thing I like to add, let's copy paste the patcher, because I like to add another patch to here. So in here we have intelligent de-esing preset. Let's choose it and let's mute the chorus vocal. So this Yulin intelligent de-esing is really doing a good job. So if you don't know what de-esing are, when the vocals are saying S or sh, that kind of sounds, create some annoying artifacts, especially if you check the span, especially on 6K, 8K, depending on the performance, depending on the singer. But yeah, those frequencies could be really annoying inside of a track and needs to be taken care of by some multi-band compressor. And the de-esing plugins are doing that job, finding those siblings that we call dead frequencies, and they are just dipping it like a multi-band. It's not affecting the whole voice, it's just applying to the some certain problematic area, that certain frequency. Let's check the vocals by deactivating it first.
We take control anyway. We wanna go. You can't stop us. Can't stop us. Can't stop us.
So as I see, the vocals are pretty good, pretty decent and cleared. But yeah, let's go to this section and find the S noise. So we have some little S in here. Actually, it's already taken care of because this is a sample pack vocal. But let me show you how the de-esing plugin works. All you gotta do is loop that phrase, loop the problematic S sound, this area that you like to de-ess, and choose inspect button. And when you click inspect button, you are going to only hear the area that the de-esser plugin is going to be applied. And in the frequency knob, just try to find the exact specific frequency. So probably this area would work. The range button, how much compression, how much ducking in terms of that specific frequency you like. So since this particular sample already not that harsh to my ear, I like to lower the range because we don't like to totally kill that frequency. And I'm not even going to touch any of the parameters. All I'm gonna do is uncheck the inspect button. And yeah, that's all. Now the de-esser plugin is only going to affect those certain frequencies when there are some harsh noise in the vocal.
Us can't stop us. Us can't stop us. Us can't.
So as you see, like it's a subtle change, but in the mix, in the full track, it's going to make a huge difference. And you don't need any fancy big plugins. You can just make the de-esing even with a patcher patch. It's just working really nice. So we should do the same to the second vocal, to the chorus vocal. Since they are kind of different characteristic, we might get another frequency, another annoying frequency on them. So I'm gonna click inspect again and try to find some. Let me deactivate the plugin first. I'm gonna try to find some S sound, sh sound, something like that.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back down in us down.
So let's say this frequency. I'm gonna check it with span. Again, it's around the same area. I'm gonna activate the de-esser, choose inspect. I'm gonna find the frequency. Then in the range, I can determine how much do I like to clear or kill that certain frequency. Let's leave it in here, uncheck the inspect, and now those frequency is going to be taken care of.
You can hear the sound, you can hear the sound, you can hear the sound.
When it says sound, it's much more smooth, a little bit compressed. But yeah, this is the main point for de-esing the vocals. So this is the main thing that I've made for the vocals. Now we are going to take a look for the backing vocals.
You can hear the sound,
Let's put some EQ and let's make a high pass.
you can hear the sound.
And again, I like to deep the frequencies that are kind of making the sound boxy.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
Let me solo only the low.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us. You can hear the sound, you can hear the sound.
So again, we have some boxy frequencies in here.
You can hear the sound.
And I'm gonna leave it like that. Now let's apply some EQ to the high back vocal. Let's choose high pass.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
So I can even cut the back vocals more since they one octave higher. I totally don't need those frequencies and they're already taken care of or feeling by the other low vocal that we have.
You can hear the sound, you can hear the sound.
Maybe just a little bit here.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down.
And yeah, I don't need to make the surgical EQ for my back vocals. So all I'm gonna do now is just make a rough balance between everything that I've just processed.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around.
So I feel like this chorus vocal is a little bit too loud. Maybe we can compress it more.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around. Can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
Yeah, now we got some proper balance between the vocals. And now we gotta work with the FX of the vocals. I don't like to put the FX for insert for the individual channels. Instead, I like to use the send technique. So let's put a reverb channel here. We are going to need a delay channel and maybe a chorus channel. Let's see. I like to lock the channels and I like to route them to the vocal final instead of the master. Again, the vocal final is going to be our ultimate vocal channel, which is going to be contain all of the vocal channels, vocal related channels. So maybe we can change the color of the sands of the FX. And the first FX we are going to apply reverb. Let me mute the back vocals for now. And let's make the dry to the 0% since this is a send channel. We only need the wet signal. So now we are going to send the vocal to the reverb like that. Now, and all we gotta do is make a reverb preset that we can enjoy.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway.
And also, if you don't know how to use the parameters of the reverb, I already have a dedicated full reverb tutorial. You should check that out. I'm gonna put like 5 seconds or decay. It's again going to be depend on the tempo, depend on the vibe of the track. Just make your room size as your taste. And for vocals, I like to reduce the high cuts, maybe like to 10K to the 11K, and I like to leave it like that. And also, I like to remove the bass and maybe give a little bit of damp so we get a bit more crisp and bright high frequencies on the reverb.
We own the night, we take control.
Yeah, now we already got a really big room reverb with a really clarity with a crisp top end. So you can give the stereo separation knob a little bit. So the reverb is going to be a little bit more wide. And after that, let's put an EQ. And I like to make a band pass like that just before the reverb. And I like to cut the signal that is coming to the reverb. So I'm just cleaning and sending feeding the reverb with a clean signal.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound.
So I'm gonna make a band pass like that, kinda like I'm cutting all the low mids, all the bass frequencies and a little bit of the high frequencies, which is going to make my reverb much more cleaner. And after I'm putting the reverb, I like to put a frequency limiter. And in here, we are going to go to the compressor mode in the sidechain. Let's right click and choose the vocal. The ratio 2:1 and put the threshold until we get some clean amount of sidechain. We are now setting a sidechain. When the vocals are singing, the reverb is going to duck itself in terms of volume. And we are going to have a much more cleaner vocal with a less reverb. And when the vocal is not singing, the reverb is going to be at maximum volume. So the sidechaining with dry signal with the FX signal always give you much more cleaner mix down.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us.
Yeah, as you see, like already we got a really cleaner reverb on the vocal. So let's go work with the delay. I'm gonna add a fruity delay 3 and I like to again remove the dry all the way down and send the vocal to the delay group. And now let's go to the pin pawn and just put the pan left or right, it doesn't matter. And let's hear how it sounds now.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go.
Not bad, let's try the timing 3.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway.
Not bad, I'm gonna try 8. Now you can be really experimental and find the best timing for the delay time.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go.
Maybe this is good also, but I like the timing 4. I'm gonna leave it like that. And also let's give a little bit of saturation from here so we get more dirty delay feedbacks.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway.
So far so good. I like to put an EQ. And this time again, I'm gonna go a band pass like that. But this time I'm gonna cut it from 500 and maybe even more in the high frequencies. So I'm currently making my delay so narrow and it won't going to, mask or take the big role from the original vocals. They are always gonna push to the back. And this is one of the easiest way if you want to push some certain sound to the back of the mix. You can just cut the high frequencies until they are really pushed and not masking the vocals anymore.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go.
Sounds good so far, and let's copy paste this limiter. Because we should do the same, we can sidechain the delay with the vocals as well as we did in the reverb.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway.
Okay, I'm really enjoying how it sounds. Let's test it with the reverb.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. stop us, can't stop us.
Yeah, we already have a really wide, really deep vocal. And the next thing I like to add is a fruity chorus. I'm not even gonna touch any of the parameters. I'm just gonna make it wet only in here. And then I'm gonna send my vocal to the chorus send, but like not probably 100%. You can determine how much do you like to send it.
You can hear the sound. We own the night, we take control anyway. We own the night, we take control anyway.
So I don't like to give the chorus that much, maybe like half. It's just enough. I like to just get a little bit of widening by the chorus effect, but I don't like to chorus get, bigger than the rest of the effects. I don't like to make the chorus much more presence. But again, this is the producer's choice. You can do whatever you want. This is just my ways and values to make it.
We own the night, we take control.
Yeah, now it sounds really clean. Now probably we can mix the chorus vocals with this knowledge. And all I need to do is send the chorus to the reverb send or delay send, that's all.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around, can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
Yeah, now the chorus vocal is also become really big. And now I like to take a look for the back vocals that we have. But I'm gonna do it probably first. I like to put some limiter. Let's copy paste it to the back vocals. Now I like to glue the back vocals with, like we have two vocals. If we can put a compressor to the same group, to the backing vocal group, we could compress them and make them in the same dynamic range before I'm sending them to the reverb sends.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around, can you hear it now?
So just several dBs of gain reduction to glue both of the vocals. And I'm gonna send now the back vocal group to the FX sends.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
But probably we don't need to send them as much as we did with the main vocals. We can send them so subtle. Even probably for delay, we might not send it because the delay also, if it's applied to another back vocals, it could get a little bit messy. So let's keep the delay only happening on the main vocal. And for the back vocals, let's just give them some reverb to put all of the vocal channels to the same ambience. And maybe we can give a little bit of chorus to again glue them and make them a bit more wide.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. We own the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go, you can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around, can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
So while I'm listening, I just tweaked a little bit of the send channels and sent a little bit of less signal. So the values should change like that when you are listening it with the full context to fit the vocals inside of your mix down. And as you see right now, all of the vocals are going to some vocal final group. And in here, we can put some EQ. Again, we can think like that. We are mixing it inside of a full track. And we can make some subtle changes in here.
We own the night, we take control anyway. We wanna go, you can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down.
So right now, I'm just giving it a little bit mid, a little bit of high frequencies so the vocals can pop through from the mix and make them much more brighter. And let's add another patcher. And this time we are going to compress all of the vocals. And for that, I like to use the 1K compressor. This is really nice. It's having only one knob, so one of the easiest compressor to work on. I like to put it on the vocal group to like compress all of the signal, because the vocal final right now contains all the backing vocals or all the reverb FX sounds and all the main vocals inside of it. So if I put a compressor and compress it just a little bit, it could glue all of the chain inside of the one sound.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down.
Yeah, just a little bit is fixing everything really well. But I think I'm annoying by something happening on the main vocal. I don't like the breathing sounds. It's too present, and I think it's like when we are feeding the reverb and delay sounds with the breath, it's just making it no sense in my opinion. So that's why I like to automate its volume, and I'm gonna dip the annoying frequencies.
We on the night,
So this, we definitely don't need it. I'm not killing or cutting the breaths, just giving them a little bit less volume.
We take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us.
So don't be lazy and do these changes. It's going to affect the outcome really much.
Stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud.
As you see, like it's down in the chorus, but in the verse vocal, we had that annoying breathing sounds. Now there shouldn't be any problem.
We on the night, we take control. Anyway, oh, anyway. Oh, anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down.
Yeah, now they sound much more natural, and I like to balance the back vocals just one more time with the main chorus vocal.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us.
I like to put the back vocal really subtle, really silent.
You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around. Can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
So that sounds really nice. And the last thing I like to add is another hidden patcher plugin. So we are going to go choose Dynamic EQ 5 band. So this is actually doing the same job by when you put in a FAB filter Pro Q3 and you make a dynamic band on a certain frequency to expand or compress the band. So this plugin is doing the same job. It's just dividing the frequency for 5 different bands. So bass, low mid, mid, high mid, and high frequencies. And you can compress a certain frequency or expand it. So it works like that. Let's say this we want to work on this frequency.
We on the night.
The low mid frequency. And if we think like it's making it a little bit boxy, we can just put the compressor like that.
We on the night, we take control. We on the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go.
So with this, you can make your vocal chain. I'm putting it in the vocal final as the last element in the track. and you can just make the vocal group fit to your track very easily. If after processing the colors, if you think they are not mixing with the rest of the track, let's say if you think your vocals are lacking of high frequencies, you can just expand the high frequency band with it.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us.
Or even you can make the volumes and you can color without expanding and compressing. Like this tool is really useful for that.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us.
So yeah, let's leave it like that, because for using that tool, you probably need a full track, and this is kind of like the finalizing tool for the vocals. But yeah, let's take a look how the chain sounds like right now.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway.
So yeah, now I'm gonna disable this tool. I'd just like to show it to you. When you are making and trying to fit your vocal with a full track, you can always use that tool as the last thing on your vocal chain. But yeah, now we can take a look how the full vocal chain, how the finished vocal processing sounds like in the raw track, like with only bass. But yeah, I hope it's going to make sense.
We own the night, we take control. Anyway, we wanna go. You can't stop us, can't stop us, can't stop us. You can hear the sound, you can hear it loud, never holding us down. On the battleground, coming back around. Can you hear it now? Sound the alarm.
So yeah guys, this is how I mix my vocals. If I need to use only the stock plugins, always check to patch your hidden plugins. There are really cool hidden games, especially on vocal processing. You can find tons of different stuff and mix your vocals fully stock with really fast, and it's going to sound like really professional. So today that was it guys. I hope you can apply this to your own productions too. Thanks for watching. See you on the next video. Bye bye.